Hi everyone, good morning. Still is good morning. Great to see you. It's an honor to be here. Lovely Madrid. Unfortunately, not the typical Madrid weather today. Nevertheless, who in this room knows Flix and who has used our product before, FlixBus? That's about 5 to 10 people. And that's exactly the problem I want to talk about, because usually if I would be either on a startup summit or in a university, about 90 to 95% would have used our product before, would have liked it. Maybe they would complain about the Wi-Fi, which was not fast enough, but they would have used it. And the 5 or 10% who did not raise their hand would have not listened to the question, most likely. And that's the origin of the problem I want to talk about a bit here in Madrid, because from our perspective, it's a crucial time at the moment for mobility and for societies. Why? Because we see a multiple crisis out there. One is obviously the pressing one, besides the war and so on, the inflation, the recession that is potentially upcoming in some countries, and economic pressure, lower household income. So we have an economic crisis at the moment. And obviously, this also reflects, and if I look at Spain, it also reflects on, like in many other countries, on cities and rural areas. So how do our countries develop? And the other one is the climate crisis. So we need, on the one hand, an affordable way to travel, which is also connecting cities which are not the main towns. And on the other hand, we need a sustainable way to travel. And I think, from my perspective and our perspective, Spain is missing out on an opportunity. And in that sense, how few of you raised your hand, Spain is missing out on an opportunity which every other country in Europe takes. You might know, or you might not know, Spain is one of the very few markets globally that has not an open bus market, which is super strange, because you have an open airline market, you have obviously an open car market, you have an open rail market now, which everyone is celebrating, how great competition is doing for rail, even for the incumbents. Prices are going down, connectivity is going up, quality is going up. Nevertheless, on bus, this is not happening. And I think it misses out an opportunity for Spain. We do that in 40 countries. So you might know Flix a bit. We're running around 4,000 buses globally. So we run from the borders of Turkey to Syria, to the Pacific coast in California, from Brazil to northern Sweden. So we're present in a lot of markets. We just announced that we're going to open Chile, which is a very European-like market in South America from our perspective. And we're going to open India next year. So you see Flix is a global story on how we roll out a business model that was born in Europe, and that is European by origin. And that has a couple of important aspects. In every country that we establish ourselves, we will become a local company. So we will not only build a team like we have here in Madrid or in any other market where we're active, but we also work with local partners. So the business model of Flix is that we have local companies, more than 1,000 globally, that work with us, that buy the buses. And the buses that you see on the road, the green, beautiful buses, are run by local companies under the Flix brand. And they create real jobs, economic growth, and so on. And what our ambition is, we also have to create a value to the market. We have to bring value to the market in terms of connectivity. So usually we connect a lot of cities that have not been connected before. To give you a number, about 30% of our cities in many markets are below 20,000 inhabitants. So in many markets globally, we have around 5,500 stops in our network globally. We are the only long-distance offer that is available. So yes, we cater for the high-demanded routes, but we also cater for the rural areas. And we do that with an offer which has a better quality and lower prices than incumbents. And speaking about Spain, we offer cross-border services a lot. You can travel to Portugal, to France, to Italy, wherever you want to go. You can travel with FlixBus. With an interconnection, you might even get to Poland or Ukraine. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. The only thing you can't do, travel domestically in Spain. So it's not possible to travel from your hometown to Madrid or between two metropolitan areas. That's simply, it's forbidden. It's called a concession system. Concession system is just a nice word for monopoly, because only a couple of companies own this monopoly. And what a monopoly usually does is it provides bad service at a high price. And to make that transparent, Portugal just opened their market about 1.5 years ago. We started operations. We are meanwhile on eye level with the incumbents in terms of service. And the prices in Spain are 80% higher than in Portugal. And this is just the power of competition. At the end, if you don't have competition, you get a worse offer at lower prices, at higher prices. And even in France, prices are 40%, compared to France, prices in Spain are 40% higher. So I think it's a great opportunity. And obviously, I'm pitching a bit our company, and also that we are friends of an open market. But I think it's also crucial for our society, because one thing is important. We need innovation in the future. We need innovation to keep our societies on an economical viable path. So we need innovative companies born out of Europe. We cannot hand over everything to China or the US, so we need strong European companies. We want to be such a company. We want to be also a local, strong Spanish company. And we will need innovation for the second big challenge, decarbonization. And that's going to be a huge topic from my perspective, because two things will lead to decarbonization of travel. And I believe that net zero travel is possible. So in a couple of years from now, you will travel carbon-free. I think this is given. The question is, what's the date and what's the technology? But I have no doubt that traveling on a bus, and we do also trains in some markets, will be carbon neutral in the future. That's not the question. The question is only the speed and the exact technology. But also here, you will need innovation. And if you look around, there's a lot of innovation going on. At the moment, it's not happening here. But we have tested solar panels on buses. We have biogas buses rolled out. We are working on electric long-distance buses, which is a pretty big challenge if you want to run 500 to 1,000 kilometers. But we're working on that together with Daimler. We are working on hydrogen buses together with a couple of hydrogen and fuel cell manufacturers. So the innovation is coming, but the innovation can and should be driven not only from public capital, because I think also our countries have not unlimited funds. It also has to come from private companies. We have to put our money into innovation, and we can do that in fair and open regulation. And therefore, I think it's a huge opportunity to think more in open markets. And besides that specific topic I'm talking about, long-distance buses, I think it's also on a broader topic that we are in Europe sometimes too hesitant to take a stand and say, where do we want to go, and then take a brave step forward. I think we have so many resources in Europe in terms of people, our culture, and also our technology and our companies, and we don't utilize it well enough because we are scared of the future sometimes, and we should have a more positive and a more open mind towards the future development, to also have an opportunity to stand at eye level with China and the US. And this comes down at the end that all our countries are too small. They are all too small on a global scale. We need Europe united, we need it together. And obviously, we like that we can do our small part in that by connecting countries, connecting cities, because I think traveling inside of Europe is not only amazing, but it's also very important for us to understand what Europe is about and to have a joint culture. But also to drive innovation, we need one European market. The European Commission also said that these open markets, like Spain, the bus market, would be beneficial for the European unity and for the economic development. And I think that's very, very true. Because at the end, if we want to have global players, in a positive sense, with a European DNA, with a European attitude towards doing business, with really job creation, with being local, then at the end we also need European markets, because this is the size where we as a society and we as companies can be large enough and relevant enough that we play a role in the global society. And to give you one example, we were born out of a market opening in Germany. The market was opened 2013, and we started growing out of competition, and it was a lot of new offers and a lot of new attractive services. And then a lot of countries around us anticipated that this is a positive change. And then France opened 2015, Macron opened the market. The buses are still called Car Macron, so the Macron buses, because he's seen what's happening in Germany was something that he liked. On the other hand, we also saw a market opening in Italy, also a market that was closed for 100 years. And what we've seen after 1 year, you have seen 35% more connections and prices significantly lower than before and better services. And this has endured until today. So I think a lot of countries adopting at the moment in our small segment that spirit. And I think it's very important, and also here, not only for our market, but all markets, that we embrace open markets, open competition. Because if we Europeans want to have a chance, we only have a chance together, and therefore we need companies that can really operate pan-European. We want to be such a company, and I think we have something to add for Spain. I hope more of you can use our buses in the future. Potentially tomorrow if you want to go to Lisbon or Paris or Toulouse or whatever. But also the day after tomorrow if you want to go to Barcelona or your hometown. And this is our vision. We are here to stay. We like Spain. I personally like Spain. My kids speak Spanish. My wife is fluent in Spanish, and I spent a lot of time in Spain. So obviously, this is something that is close to my heart, that we are here to stay. We are working here for years. We build international connections, and we are eager to build domestic connections in the future, because from our perspective, there is so much more potential in Europe and in Spain and in our segment that I'm super excited about the future, and we should not be scared of the challenges ahead. I think it's an exciting time, it's a challenging time, but if we really are proactive and embrace change, I think we can make a difference, and Flix can be a small example of that, and I think there are many, many good examples also today here on the summit, and therefore I'm very proud to be here. Thanks a lot for your time. It's highly appreciated that you came in, and I hope that in a couple of years I come back and more hands are raised and you have traveled to your hometowns or to other cities in Spain with us. So thanks a lot for your time.